Hello and hello everybody, my name is Lucy and welcome to Books and Brushes. So today I'm doing the miniest of mini book hauls. So I did a book haul quite recently, and then after I had all those books I picked up a couple other books, but this was before the pandemic kind of started, so I did pick these books up a while ago because I'm all behind on book hauls. Does that make sense? Essentially, that book haul was a group of books. I picked these books up just after I filmed that video, and as you know, I filmed that video way back in like the beginning of January. These are the 4 books I got like at some point before all this started. Let's just haul these 4 mini books because there's an unlikely chance that I will be book shopping anytime soon. And you know, it's always nice to just have a little mini video about book haul instead of a gigantic one. I won't have to rush and be nervous, so that will be fun. So the first book I picked up is from an author I've read a book from before, and well, I just had to get this one, and that is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And oh my god, these sprayed edges. I mean, look. Waterstones, you beauty. I love that gradient. It goes from like a yellow to like this orangey red. Oh, stunning. Love the cover as well. So I read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid and loved that book. And of course the whole of BookTube was hyping that and this one. I think my dad has even read this one before me, so yikes. I got him to read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo because I knew he'd love that book, and surprise, surprise, he did. So he immediately went out and read this one. So he's caught up before me, which is well done, Dad. This one is about a band in the 70s. It's like the rise and fall of their success and their downfall, and all like the kind of drugs and rock and roll and the fights and the misunderstandings and the politics and all of that stuff, which sounds really interesting. And as I know from Taylor Jenkins Reid, she can really weave a story together. I can imagine this is going to be really interesting. I don't know if I like it as much as Evelyn Hugo because that's a hard thing to beat, but either way I think it's going to be a really fun read, and my dad enjoyed it. I'm glad I picked it up when I did because I know I'm a bit behind everybody else on like hauling this book, but it's fine, same as always. The next book I picked up is a sequel to a book I loved last year, I believe, and that is One of Us is Next by Karen M. McManus, the sequel to One of Us is Lying. I loved that book. It was just so much fun to read. I liked the mystery, I liked the characters and the POV changes. I just remember having so much fun while reading that book, and there was more I wanted to know. I remember finishing it and being outraged that I couldn't find out certain things that would happen, like what would happen with Bronwyn, and oh god, I've forgotten almost all the characters' names now except Bronwyn. What was the rebel's name? Was it Jay? I really don't remember, it's been that long. Either way, I wanted to know things that happened, so I'm really happy that there is a sequel to that. I will be so happy to go back to these characters and see another mystery plot, and I'm just happy to have this book with me. The next one was a bit of a wild card in Waterstones because I tend to have at least one wild card in there, and that was The Truth About Telling Lies by Tracy Darnton. I think Darnton? Yeah, that sounds right. So the synopsis leaves a little bit to be desired on this one, very mysterious, but it's like the main character remembers everything, but when this happens, it will all unravel, what is true and what is lie. So I don't quite know what's going on in this story. It says she remembers every single day of her life. It says she remembers the research program ruling her life, which is very intriguing. She remembers this boarding school and her roommate falling from a window. So lots of interesting things going on there. And then she starts receiving a lot of cryptic messages from this guy named Dan about her past, and she's like trying to unravel and put together what really happened. So I don't know what this book is, but it sounds like a mystery, it sounds like a ride, and it was my wild card. I tend to include these in like little book hauls I do when I go to Waterstones. Hopefully it'll be a good choice. Now the next one is one I'm probably the most excited about in these 4. I'd never heard of it before I went into Waterstones and saw it, but this synopsis, guys. Why is no one talking about this book? It sounds major. So I got Internment by Samira Ahmed. I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry as always. So this book is set in America where Muslims have been declared a real threat. Not just the insane racism that we have towards Muslims being all terrorists, but it's gotten to a point where they are now being put in concentration camps. And that just sounds so charged. They all have to be like registered on this list, and it's very kind of reminiscent of Holocaust with the Jews, except with Muslims, and they're both religions, people. Why is it not okay to be like, oh, all Jews are horrible sneak thieves, let's kill them all, to saying that all Muslims must be terrorists and we must fear them? Like, what is the difference? This is a pretty charged topic and such an interesting book, and I can't believe no one's thought to do this yet, and I can't believe people aren't talking about this book. It sounds like a book that would catch so many people's attention, and I've heard no one mention this, so that's interesting. It sounds terrifying, it sounds too close to reality, it sounds horrific, it sounds action-packed, and it sounds full of morals and depravity and all of the things I love in books. It sounds so important and so real and so wow. I mean, if that concept doesn't make you go, ooh, I don't really know what will. So I'm really excited to have this. I cannot wait to read this book. I think it's going to be a horrible book to read in the best way possible. I think it's going to be nasty and gut-wrenching and difficult, and I love those books. Am I a masochist? Is this what I'm learning? So yeah, this book, as soon as I saw this and read the synopsis, it was mine. Like, I knew this was going to be the one I picked up, and I can't wait to read it and tell you guys about it. So do you guys have any of these 4 books, or is any of these 4 books jump out at you as ones you'd want to read or you want to hear my thoughts on first? Because I need your help narrowing down these TBRs, guys. I've got so many new books. The virus aside, I could have bought online books, but I haven't, because I'm broke anyway. Thank you for watching the miniest mini of book hauls. I'm sorry I'm trying to wrap this up quickly, but my battery is dying as we speak, and I'm terrified it's just gonna cut out on me. Thank you so much for watching. Please follow my Instagram and Twitter, because I don't really have like any Twitter followers, and I don't have nearly as many Instagram followers as I do subscribers. So it'd be great if like some of you could like migrate over there, and if you want to know what I'm reading first, those are the best places to find out. Thank you so much for watching this video. And my battery died. I had to charge it up just for 2 minutes, just so I could do the end. I'm pretty sure I finished talking about this book and was saying thank you for watching and to follow my socials, and I think I was talking about how I pre-filmed this video, so by the time you see it, it'll be quite a while away. So this is quite outdated. I'm filming this on like, I think it's the 5th of April today, and it'll probably come out nearer the end of April. That just gives you context on, you know, when this was filmed. Why can't I speak? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.